Some of the most popular TV shows of all time almost never had the chance to find a fan base, as the networks nearly canceled them. And other hits actually were canceled before gaining an unexpected second life. Here's a look at some of the most popular TV shows that were so close to being canceled forever. It turns out Friends was almost not there for you. Co-creator David Crane recently explained to the Huffington Post that the show, which went on to run for 10 seasons and ranks as one of the most watched programs in U.S. history, didn't test well at first. Apparently, it was considered to be geared towards too young of an audience, had too many sexual innuendos, and featured characters that were only moderately likable to test audiences. NBC viewed it as a lackluster effort but didn't have much else to fall back on for its fall schedule, and Crane and co-creator Marta Kauffman stood by their concept. Crane said the show was always the six friends, and we were prepared to live or die by that.
That is how God intended it.
Despite its critical acclaim and a small but dedicated fan following, NBC's Community was dangerously close to being canceled in the middle of its third season, as the network put the show on hiatus with no return date mentioned in its promotional materials. Fans of the series eventually succeeded in pressing for a renewal of the show. It ran for 2 more seasons at NBC before being picked up by Yahoo Screen to avoid yet another cancellation scare, finishing out its 6th season on the digital platform. The show did not return for a 7th season, but it has long boasted itself as a 6 seasons and a movie experience, so a feature film follow-up is still spinning in the rumor mill.
We wait a little bit, let them explore their awesome careers, and then we get together for an incredible movie.
In another instance of NBC almost underestimating its TV gold reserves with a premature cancellation, the network reportedly only signed on for a 4-episode order of what was then titled The Seinfeld Chronicles, according to Business Insider. Rick Ludwin, who headed up late-night programming for the network, ultimately convinced execs to produce 4 more episodes and rerun the pilot, which then received significantly higher ratings and justified ordering a second season. Seinfeld ultimately ran for 9 seasons and was the most-watched TV show from 1994 to 1995 and 1997 to 1998.
You're very funny, Jerry. That's what I always tell people. Jerry Seinfeld's a funny guy.
The story of the Dillon, Texas football teams with clear eyes and full hearts almost did lose after its second season ratings were low enough to justify its early cancellation on NBC. But just like the Panthers, the network showed some serious heart by negotiating a deal with DirecTV to co-produce its 3rd, 4th, and 5th seasons on DirecTV's 101 network instead of cutting it all together.
You gotta get the fans involved. You know, like sometimes people mail stuff to networks to show how passionate they are. They sent light bulbs to save Friday Night Lights.
The show is now a cult favorite and was a notable critical success despite its less than ideal audience numbers.
So I got that going for me. And wine.
In another case of an original series fan base pulling out all of the creative stops to get a network to greenlight another season, followers of HBO's critically acclaimed but ratings-plagued drama series The Leftovers showed up at the network's headquarters in New York City dressed as the show's guilty remnant faction, a group of people who wear all white, chain smoke, and wordlessly picket events as a form of civil disobedience. According to Variety, HBO, citing their respect for such fan enthusiasm and commitment to creator Damon Lindelof's vision for closing out the series, renewed it for a 3rd and final season, which brought the story to its preordained conclusion.
So this is the last time we're ever gonna see each other, huh?
What do you mean?
Just the world is ending.
Oh, yeah.
In another instance of a series being rescued from its network's dustbin, Fox's Arrested Development was shelved after 3 seasons thanks to a ratings dip in the 2nd season and a continued decline in season 3 before it was ultimately canceled. But fans of the quirky comedy series made their hopes for more perfectly clear, leading to Netflix purchasing the rights and producing a highly touted 4th season for its own originals lineup in 2013. A 5th season followed in 2018.
Wait till you see it, Michael!